Hello, everybody. In this screencast, we're going to look at sections, how you can add sections to your table. It's also very straightforward, but to add sections, this means that we need to have data that is categorized. Okay, so let's say we want to use the same example that we had in the overview, where you have a list of cities. Let's say we say cities, okay, and we create the cities is going to be a dictionary. Let's say we have the state, let's say North Carolina, and then we specify the city, some cities in North Carolina. We'll also have, say, for example, New York. Okay, and we'll have some cities in New York. And let's add another state, let's say Illinois. And let's add some cities in Illinois. Okay, so basically we are going to add some cities in, let's say, at Charlotte, Gastonia. Let's also add Raleigh, for example, and so on. So basically we added some cities. Okay, now New York, let's add New York. Let's add White Plains, and so on. Illinois, let's add Chicago. Let's add Chicago. What else? Which other city we should add? Let's add some other, one more city, so that at least we can have let's see which one we should add. Chicago, there is Johnson City. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, cool. So basically we have some cities, and then for each city we have for each state we have some cities. Okay, excellent. So now what we're going to do is we're going to restructure this a little bit differently. So basically we want to tell it that the number of sections, and telling you this is the section ID, which is this. So now let's create also something else. We call it var states. Okay, and we'll make it a string array. Okay, it's a string array. So now when we are going to load the app, I'm going to initialize the states. Okay, say states dot append contents of. So basically adds the element of a sequence at the end of the array, or append contents of a sequence. So basically I can do that, append elements of a sequence. I'll do that. Now what's the sequence? The sequence is cities dot keys. I just wanted the keys of the cities, which are these are the states. So basically the keys are the states, right? So I wanted to add the keys to this states, what do you call it, array. So I can now use that states array. Now when it asks me how many rows are in a section, and it gives me the idea of the section, instead of just specifying that it's just the count of everything, it's just the count of the rows in that section. So that section, how do I identify the section? I'll identify the section. So this will be section, say 0, section 1, section 2. So the number of rows in a section of this section is going to be 3, 1, 2, 3, and this one is 2, and this one is 2, right? So how do I do that? I'll go to the cities, okay, and I will indicate the states based on this section, which is this section, and then you say count. So basically what we are doing here is that, let's say we get the state. I'll call it just slowly. Let's do this slowly. So let's state equal states, and then the index is the section. Okay, that's the state. And then using that state, I can go to the dictionary. Okay, I can using that state, I can go to the dictionary, which is the cities dictionary, right? And then retrieve the array based on that, and then I could do count, right? Now it needs us to just unwrap this, but you could see that I could get the count of the array for that specific one. Okay, cool. So now that's how we are going to retrieve this data. Now, instead of just putting, I'm going to use color, so I'll just delete this color thing altogether, right? Okay, so I'm not going to use colors at all, right? So now here, instead of getting the color, I want to get the name of the city to print, right? So let city equals what? I need to get the state first, right? So let's get the state. So let state equals, how do I get the state? I need the section, right? I use the section to get the state. States of index path dot section. Okay, you can get the section. So I got the state. Now I can get the array for the, I can get the city. So I could say let city equals cities of state. Okay, and then after you do that, it gets you the city of the array, gives you this array, for example, right? And then I need to point to a specific one in the array. I'll use the index path dot row. Okay, so now basically I got to simplify things, maybe, okay, what I will do is this. I will just say what is let cities, okay, not this one, okay, let's change it to cities in state, okay, equals cities of state, okay, and then I can use that. Okay, so this is a string, this one is an array of cities at the state, okay, and then this is a city, right? Okay, so now I just print the city here, okay, and we run it. Let's see what happens. It's not happy because you have to unwrap. Okay, let's unwrap, let's run it again. Okay, so it's only having 2. So what's going on? Okay, so basically we need to specify the number of sections, right? We never specified what's the number of sections, right? So how do we get the number of sections? Okay, what if we go here, we say sections, number of sections. Here it is. What's the number of sections? The number of sections is return states dot count, right? The number of states. Okay, go back here again. Okay, here we go. Why these? You could see that they are printing them one by one. You have Charlotte, Gastonia, Raleigh, but you could see that there are no section headers, right? So let's add some section headers. Section headers. Okay, so how do you add the section headers? Let's see if it's this one. I think these are in the other delegate here. Okay, section, and we need to return a string. So you can see here header in section, title of header in section. Okay, so it gives you what section is it, right? So basically based on the section I can retrieve the state. Okay, so I'll just do that same thing here. Based on the section I can retrieve the state, and I'll just return state. The state is going to be the section header, right? Okay, you have the section coming in, and I'm just going to return the string, which is this, and let's run it again. And you will see now that the section headers are going to be the state. Okay, you could see here North Carolina, and then the states under it. New York, the states under it. Illinois, the states under it. So let's recap a little bit. So basically we have, this is the cities dictionary, right? The key is the state. The value is an array of the cities, right? So now when we are looking at the number of rows in a section, right? So basically you are only given the section index. So basically I took these sections, which are the states, right? And I put them in an array, which is called states. And based on the section ID or the index of the section, I can get what is the string that represents that state. And then based on that string, which is the key, I can go to the cities dictionary and get the size of the array that state has, right? And I'm returning it here. And then with regard to the cell, when you are asking, when the table view is asking the delegate to tell it, hey, which cell to draw, it specifies an index path, which the index path has both a section and a row. So basically using the section, we're able to identify the state, right? And then using that state, we go to the dictionary, right? We go to the dictionary using the key, and we got the whole array, right? Which is this cities in state, right? and then we retrieve the city based on the index path.row, right, the actual row, and then we print that city. Now, to specify the number of sections, we just say it's the number of states, because you see the number of states is the number of sections. You have 3 sections, right? And then what do you present for the title of, or the header of each section? We want to present that actual state. So basically that's what we're doing. We get the section, we go to the states, and then we return state. I know it's a little bit complicated, but you could see that's how this enables you to organize the data into sections. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.